Gauteng. Also, you've seen the most amazing pictures of what's really been the looting of the Jabulani Mall in Soweto. Let's speak now to the Gauteng provincial government. Their spokesperson is Vuyo Mhaga. Vuyo, good afternoon to you. You will have seen these images. You'll be getting a picture of what's happening in the province. How would you describe the situation that we're seeing in Gauteng this afternoon?
Well, the situation is extremely, violent. It's an act of lawlessness, the looting of properties of people who might not really have anything to do with the current, grievances that the people are basically raising. And I think for us, mainly, the challenge is around the stoppage of services and the stoppage of people to go to work. So we had to actually close some of the vaccine sites purely because, they are actually in the areas where the looting is happening and where the violence is actually happening. We had our emergency, vehicles that were actually on call could not enter in those particular areas. So it's bigger than what we're actually seeing. It's actually affecting, areas around the health issues. It's affecting people in terms of they need services. They can't commute from one place to another. So it's really a disruption of the people's lives. West, if you speak about Gauteng, which is currently the epicenter of COVID-19. So, we can't be surprised, at a later stage, the numbers again start to, to go up, even though we've actually turned the curve, starting to de-escalate in terms of the COVID-19. But the current scenes are really not affecting us. But mostly, it's actually affecting ordinary people that might need services from government, that might need services from the private sector. And as I'm saying it to you, some of the COVID-19 sites, vaccination sites, were to be forced to close them in. Some of them, as I'm saying, the EMS, we can't send ambulances whenever there's a call because there's purely riot. So you've got a situation where there are protesters. It's about saving lives and making sure that, the situation, gets reduced. So it's extremely, extremely concerning for us.
The SANDF is now being deployed. This is army soldiers, both in Gauteng and KwaZulu-Natal. Do you believe they're going to make a difference?
Well, we really hope so. We really hope that the law enforcement agencies will actually assist us to calm down the situation. But it really needs a collective leadership of society. You need a lot of people in different aspects to speak in one voice, to be able to respond. You can't, in this kind of a situation, you expect government only to respond, but you need different voices in society that must speak in unison to make sure that we don't destroy the country that we do have, having understood the current challenges that the people are facing, but in so doing, we must not further, exacerbate the situation because the malls that are being banned, the businesses that were open, obviously are going to be closed, meaning more people will obviously go to bed hungry because there won't be jobs provided. So that's really the issue. I think I'm saying let's call different voices in society and let's actually engage with the residents of Gauteng and people of South Africa to say what are then the consequences of what is basically happening on the ground.
Do you believe, as the province of Gauteng, do you have a view on whether this is a political protest, in other words, about former President Jacob Zuma, or whether this is just criminality and looting? And there's strong views both ways.
Well, I think initially it will have started as that, but I think as things stand, what does the protesters to do with, disruption of people's property? We are actually private. We are not party to the issue. Taking away, banning malls, as you are correctly saying, Jabulani Mall, liquor stores, then someone must explain it to me. How is that related to the grievances that were actually advanced initially? For us, where we are sitting, we're dealing with the really criminality that is camouflaging as a protest, but in reality, it's the criminality that the law enforcement agencies must respond.
These are live images, still running battles with police and people who appear to be at the Jabulani Mall. Some of them we've seen carrying things out of the shopping centre. Most people there, I must say, basically running away with nothing. I'm not sure which direction they're running in. But Vuyo, all of this brings to light all sorts of questions around why this is happening, how it's going to happen, and what are you calling on people in Gauteng to do? Do you want people to stay at home?
Well, obviously, that is what we've been actually asking people because of, as I was saying, that Gauteng is in the center of COVID-19. That's where the epicenter is. That's why we're actually on level 4 to make sure you discourage people going out. Obviously, the more people are going out, the more they interact, the more the virus moves because the virus moves when people move. As I'm saying to you, currently the health system in Gauteng, and we have not hidden this thing, is feeling extreme strain, both in the public sector and the private sector. The current scenes are not assisting that particular system because, as I'm saying to you, about 2 or 3 weeks down the line, then you're going to actually start having the effect of it. not necessarily when everything is calm, but the healthcare workers are still going to bear the brunt of this thing. It's worse now. We can't even, vaccinate people because it's just simply not safe for the healthcare workers to actually be there. Some of them can't even go to work to actually report and provide the services that are needed by the residents of Gauteng. So we are really saying, look in that broader context as residents of Gauteng and then say, how then do we handle each other and hold each other to make sure that we pass through this particular stage, inclusive of the current challenges that the country is facing. It's no issue that we're really facing serious socio-economic challenges that we must respond to it as government and as broader society. But definitely this is not the way to go about it.
Vuyo, are we expecting, do you think that the Premier of Gauteng, David Mukuru, is he going to address the province on what's been happening? Can we expect a message from him on this?
Well, obviously the President will have spoken on it. I've not engaged currently with the Premier about it. But as I'm saying, in terms of the authority of the executive, the President did speak yesterday and actually characterizes correctly that we're dealing with the acts of violence. That's why we actually keep on informing the residents of Gauteng what is the effect of the current issues that they are actually doing. As I'm saying to you, we can provide services to the people, and that conversation will obviously continue to happen between us and the residents of Gauteng, but hopefully the law enforcement agencies will be able to make sure that they bring the situation to calm.
Vuyo Mhaga, I do appreciate the time. Thank you very much indeed, spokesperson for the province of Gauteng.